Reset button.
And welcome to episode 2 of the Reset Button. I'm Travis alongside Tannen. What's going on, man? Welcome back. We did it. We got the first one in the books. Here for round 2, buddy.
Round 2. Whoop, whoop.
Are you feeling juicy this evening?
I'm feeling especially juicy tonight. I think we got a good show ahead of us. Got a lot of juicy categories to speak of, so we might as well go ahead and get on into it. Travis, you want to go ahead and kick it off?
Before we kick things off officially, let's thank everyone for all the feedback on the first episode. One of the fastest views ever for the channel. Thank all you guys for checking it out, your comments, your likes, all that good stuff. Speaking of Twitter, let's get our plugs in real quick, Tannen, and whore ourselves out for the sake of doing so. Follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Tannen, where can everyone follow you at on Twitter?
You can follow me at otannonsbum at Twitter. I'm also otannonsbum, BUM, all one word. You know, it's a nice little play on words there, Tannenbaum.
We get it. I think we get it. I think we see what you did.
Some people don't get it.
Well,
some people don't.
That's sad.
I gotta be like, well, you know, I don't know where you've been.
I've been around just like you, and I gotta say, once again, I mean, they're giving us plenty of stuff to talk about in the gaming world. We got a lot to talk about this week, don't we?
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover.
Man, I mean, where to even begin? Well, let's start with the thing I think we're both most excited about. I think this literally happened the day after we recorded the first show. Last of Us 2 trailer was released. Man, you go ahead and take it because I got a lot to say. All good, of course.
Well, it's definitely something. The trailer itself was definitely something that has been much anticipated. Just any kind of tidbit or footage was something that I was very much looking forward to and craving, especially from the second that I finished playing the game, you know, when it came out on PS3. As far as this new trailer goes, I think it was excellent. It definitely pulled at my emotions, you know, with her playing the guitar and singing the song. There's a dead freaking body just laying on the floor.
Well, basically, it's like an older version of Ellie. Obviously, we don't know how old officially. She has her hair different, and that's definitely noticeable at first.
She looks like she's more of a teenager, and that's why I say she's maybe like 2 or 3 years older.
Maybe 17, 18, possibly.
Maybe, yeah. I was thinking more like 16, because I mean, she was 14 in the first one.
Right.
So I think we've got a little bit more of a grown-up Ellie.
Yeah,
who's a little bit more developed, and she's definitely become, more of her own person in this post-apocalyptic world that, you know, she's been born into.
She's playing acoustic guitar in pretty much the entire trailer, and it's a great song, and it was stuck in my head for like 2 days. I think I texted you when I first saw it.
Yeah, you did.
And then you see Joel come in, a really battle-hearted Joel, for Christ's sakes, like Wolverine himself. Joel. I mean, you find all this shit laying around Last of Us, but you can't find a razor, shaving cream anywhere, I guess. You know, you can... Is it me? I mean, I guess it adds to his badassness, but come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, if you lived in that world, would you really give a shit about your facial hair?
Just fucking around. But yeah, this looked excellent. I mean, I wasn't hyped enough playing the first one. This definitely made me hyped to play the second, Tannen.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm kind of jealous of you too. It's just like that dick that watches, you know,
right before
Star Wars.
Yeah, like right before the new one comes out. Yeah. Yep.
Everybody else had to wait a while, but you know, go fuck yourself, cuss.
Hey, it's what I do. You know, I sneak in the back door. What can I say? That's what I did. So, but nonetheless, look great, guys. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Get out there, check it out. If you haven't played Last of Us, as a newbie, as Tana would call me, I guess, check it out. Highly recommend. Once again, we always find a way to slip The Last of Us in our show. But this week, we didn't have a choice. We're probably going to talk a lot more about it.
There was there got to be more to come.
This was actually, there were like images leaked in September, but it seemed like nobody was really talking about it a lot. But when this came out last week, man, it definitely blew up.
And it was images, and let's face it, images aren't really something that everybody seems their pants on. It's a trailer that everybody freaks out about.
Yeah, once you find out the image is legit, though, it adds to it a little bit. You would think a little more than it did with Last of Us. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But speaking of silly things, I don't even want to talk about this guy a lot, but man, it's too funny, and I'm glad you reminded me of this, Tanning, because it's been out there for a while. But let's bring it up. Kanye West's next album has officially been named TurboGrafx 16.
Because I'm a genius.
That's juicy.
Oh God, yeah, no, it's this video game based album. Apparently, some tracks have been leaked. Or at least titles to the tracks.
I'd like to take a leak on the tracks personally, but
yeah,
you and I did there with my clever wordplay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hold on to that.
But I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. You know, you get Kanye West now wanting to get on board on the whole video game thing. You know, and I'll go ahead and I'm just going to segue into this because I really don't feel like talking about Kanye West very much. But yeah, like last night on the Tonight Show, Miyamoto, and how do you pronounce his name? Reggie's? Is it Reggie's?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No,
they were on.
Reggie.
It's Reggie.
Why are you pluralizing it?
I don't know. I knew I was saying
I pictured him in like the first, in one of the bosses in Zelda. I think the first one where it's like multi-headed dragon. It's just a bunch of Reggies.
The Reggies.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Willow. He's like a 3-headed dragon.
But yeah, it was on the Tonight Show. First of all, it's a fucking T-shirt, guys.
Yeah,
calm down.
Yeah, calm the fuck down. It's everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, did you see Miyamoto's T-shirt? How about no, because it's just a damn T-shirt. I want to get on Google and see if I just can't order one for myself and just start wearing it around, and be like, hey, look at my T-shirt. Are you freaking out yet? But no, but yeah. So Miyamoto and Reggie were on the Tonight Show. Which I think that's a big step, though. You know, you didn't really see a lot of video game stuff on the Tonight Show when we were kids. You know, I really think Jay Leno and Letterman, who didn't know shit about it, like boldly backed away from it because they were like, we're not going to have somebody on there. I mean, now you got Conan that, you know, he doesn't really play games. He admits it, thus the clueless gamer, which is awesome.
We were lucky enough, though, to have shows like Nick Arcade.
Oh, yeah. We were lucky enough, but those were still kids-based shows. You know, our parents didn't, you know, hey, honey, we're going to stay up till 12:30 tonight to watch the old Nick Arcade, you know, like. But
now it's on late night on, like, Nickelodeon Gas, like that on-demand channel.
Oh, yeah, well, because, you know, yeah, yeah. But because our generation is what's watching that, so they're going to air that late at night. But that's what I'm saying with stuff with, like, the Tonight Show and Conan. Yeah. You know, it's us now that we stay up and we're the ones that, you know, watch that late night entertainment.
It's come full circle.
Yeah. And, you know, now we have that young whippersnapper, Jimmy Fallon, getting the Nintendo men on there. I miss Carson. No, I'm just kidding. But,
yeah.
It's really cool to see them on there. But anyway, yeah, so Fallon got to play some Breath of the Wild. They showed off the Switch.
And Super Mario Run.
Super Mario Run. Yep, that's mainly what they were on there to promote was Super Mario Run. Which what are your thoughts on that?
It looks fun. Apparently, you do need an internet connection at all times to play it.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen. It's not a standout for me. I'm sure that it'll have its demographic of people that are like, yeah, fuck yeah, Super Mario Run, but it won't be me. I'll probably like it for what it is and appreciate it. I'm more excited about Breath of the Wild, obviously. Straight up on the Switch thing, the game I'm most hyped for, and I try to manage my expectations, but Splatoon 2, look, just get out the way, because that's where it's at for the Switch for me. They can Splatoon anywhere. Christ. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of it though, Tandy? Are you on the Super Mario Run train?
Well, I'm not like stoked about it. I guess
Not
you know
conducting it.
well. I mean, I think it's cool that Nintendo's actually making an official Nintendo, mobile app. That's pretty awesome in itself, anyway. That they're getting in on that game.
Yeah,
Um,
they have to at this point.
yeah, yeah. But Pokemon really wasn't Nintendo. That's old, different developer. They just had that.
Niantic.
Yeah, and but this is actually Nintendo. Like, hey, this is one of our actual games. It's going to be a Mario game. We're going to put it on here. I need to stop playing that, saying that. But like, what I wouldn't mind seeing is if they did. Remember the Zelda BS?
Yes. For the Statella.
Yeah. If they would have if they make
that is a deep cut, Tannen. For those that a lot of people probably don't know what the hell that is. So real quick, what was the Statella and the Zelda BS?
Oh, the Statella was a satellite. It was only in Japan, of course, because we were kids and everything. Oh man, everything's so much cooler. But it would pick up a satellite signal.
It was a precursor to the Sega channel.
Broadcast satellite, right?
Yeah.
They would air. You got to play these certain Zelda maps right then and there, and originally that was the only time you could play it. Now they've made forms of it where it's even cartridge. People have taken it and put it into a Super Nintendo cartridge.
Yeah.
So it is accessible. Yeah, it is accessible now, which is pretty cool. But back in its day,
to think that as a kid, that's one of the Sega Channel was so awesome for our generation, because we never seen nothing like that. We never had anything like that. But this was right under our noses, and we had no clue because there wasn't the internet. It was just fucking video game magazines and word of mouth. You know what I mean? And zines and shit like that. So we didn't even know about this as kids. Imagine the disappointment if we found out as kids we can't. It's there, but no, it's in Japan.
No. There was a Nintendo Power that talked about it.
Yeah.
And I read about it.
That's what I'm saying, like the zines, Mac, that's the only way we knew. But for those that didn't have, because I never had a Nintendo Power subscription. We had a Game Pro subscription for years. Never had the Power, Tannen.
No, well.
I always bought them in thrift shops or dirt cheap comic stores where they sell magazines and bins thrown in with comics,
Yeah.
Let's get a counter, by the way.
Yeah, let's get a counter. Actually, there's a game. Every time Travis and I don't actually do this. So every time Travis and I say, you have to take a shot of vodka, but you will die. You will die. Don't play that game that I just suggested, because, you're going to die.
Yes, Statella was very, very innovative for what it tried to do. It didn't last long, though, if I remember.
Well, I'm saying that, now that they have the mobile access, they could do another kind of Zelda game like that.
That would be awesome.
It would be pretty cool, and make it a little bit more social. People can compete to beat the levels or whatever. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
One thing I'm hoping that they come out with, since we have Super Mario Maker on the Wii U, I think it would be cool to have a Zelda Dungeon Maker.
Oh, most definitely. I think that is on the horizon. It would have to be, at least for the handheld. Just with the stylus, it's just made for that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to make it a 3D thing. Just do
No, not even 3D. Whatever.
Just the overhead stuff. You could change the style. There's so many overhead Zelda games at this point. Like, you could make it original Zelda, Link to the Past.
There was that indie Zelda, that 3D indie Zelda game that got shut down a year or so ago. That was really cool looking, and that was disappointing. Back when, oh man, I want to say early 2015. Did you see that indie game of Zelda? It was like a 3D. It kind of looked Minecrafty, and it looked awesome. Like it was a recreation of the first game. And he had I don't know, a quarter of it, maybe half of it completed, maybe the whole thing. Don't quote me on any of that, by the way. I don't know. It's
so what, did they just give up?
Pulling the plug. No, Nintendo made him pull the plug on that shit. He didn't give up. He worked, so he put everything into that game, and it showed. It looked awesome.
So instead of Nintendo turning around and paying him for something that they could have made a lot of money off of, they decided to be dicks about it.
Yep.
Good move, Nintendo. You know, there's a guy that did the whole thing with Sonic, and Sega was like, "Oh crap, we need this guy. We need this guy." He made this Newground Sonic game that's absolutely awesome. Let's get him in here. So,
Speaking of, well, first of all, I don't know why we haven't even mentioned this on the show. We did not start the show with what we played this week.
oh no, we didn't. We just
That's
went right into the news.
there's so much news this week. We're like, fuck it. So basically,
Yeah.
there's a reason I guess we did because I've just been playing Skyrim, picked
Well,
up the new remastered, basically.
yeah. I mean, I say we keep talking about the news. Maybe after we come back from break, we'll just do it in a different order. I like it that way.
Fuck it.
Let's switch it up. What else is
Dyslexic show.
what? Dyslexic episode. What else?
I was going to say, before I said that, speaking of Sega, lots of news about Sega IPs this week, and not what you would expect. No game releases in any of this. All of these old Sega franchises, Altered Beast, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, House of the Dead, Crazy Fucking Taxi. How are they going to make Crazy Taxi into a TV show? All these apparently are getting... Go ahead.
Remember that movie that came out with Queen Latifah and was it Jimmy Fallon? Who was the one?
Is that the one where she had like 3 months to live, so she went nuts? Like wait.
I don't know. She's driving a taxi. It's
Queen
called
Latifah.
like Taxi. Yeah, Queen Latifah's a taxi
Maybe.
driver.
Yes. Oh God, that movie looked terrible. Yeah.
And the thing was, I remember when it came out though, it was like 2002 or something, and I thought, is this like supposed to be Crazy Taxi, the movie?
maybe they could do that. That's maybe where they got the idea. They saw that movie and thought, fuck. I've been playing Crazy Taxi a lot lately, and this could work again.
I mean, I could see Crazy Taxi movie kind of work, and I don't know, you'd have to give it a little bit more of a storyline. There's not much of a storyline to Crazy Taxi.
But basically, to summarize all this Sega news, Stories International, who has production companies within it like Circle of Confusion, who does like Fear the Walking Dead, The Talking Dead, not the actual Walking Dead, the series that nobody liked that watches The Walking Dead basically, which was Fear the Walking Dead and that talk show. But they're the ones behind all of these series, and apparently Mark Platt, who is known for such classics as Legally Blonde, is directing the Shinobi movie. So there you have it. Wow, I'm just kind of blown away by this news. I don't know if it's that kind of news story where like, is this real? Is this a prank? But it's not. It's legit. I'm just, oh man, House of the Dead movie. Did it work before? Shinobi movie, I mean, Christ. Golden Axe, also, I forgot to mention Golden Axe. How could I forget that?
Shinobi and Golden Axe making good movies if they do it right.
But the big two, the first two we are going to see are Streets of Rage and Altered Beast, two of my favorite Sega games in general. But that's going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to have Skate, if they're going to incorporate like all three Streets of Rage games. Altered Beast, that saw like a PS2 release. But I don't think it ever had any continuation type game of the stories, so they could do it. And even the PS2 game was like they typically did back then in PS2 era, where they'd put an action spin on it and have like a protagonist character. It was kind of lameish, like a Metal Gear Light in a way with Altered Beast for some weird reason. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting, man. What do you think about all this shit?
No, I mean, I think it could be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. They got some big names involved in the making of it, so it might not be that bad of a production thing. I'm guessing, but
is this going to be like the new superhero movie?
Well, it's the only time will tell, and it's just like I said with Nintendo and Universal teaming up.
Yeah.
You're going to see some Nintendo stuff here eventually. Like you just have to, because that's what Universal does. They make movies.
And as soon as you say something like that, we're both thinking it's Zelda movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't think would they risk making a Zelda movie like if it was terrible, and would they?
Well, how could you make a terrible Zelda movie? It's pretty cut and dry. You got a lot to work with.
It's Hollywood. I don't know. Look what they did to Mario Brothers. Talked about it last week.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. The 90s were a whole different era of movie making.
Last Guardian finally has seen the light of day, Tannen, with rave reviews for the most part. It's getting a lot of positive feedback on it from what I've read.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm looking forward to sitting down and playing, and I need, when I get my hands on it finally, I'm gonna probably lock myself away for 2 days.
Fence yourself in.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is gonna be one of those games that if a blizzard's coming, I'm gonna run out and buy it.
That's basically
I think.
Skyrim anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
I would love to go back through Shadow of Colossus and Ico though first. But
You know,
I don't
I've
know if I'm gonna have
never
that kind of
ever
time.
played that game. I have never played Shadow of the Colossus.
It was a good game.
I don't even know how
My
that happened. It's just something that I've never played.
I mean, Ico was a good game.
Ico was. I remember Ico.
You just gotta figure stuff out and hold a girl's hand. Ah, Papa, Uppa, Uppa.
That is creepingly accurate, and don't do that again because that was weird.
Up, up.
That should be our mascot, the girl from Ico. So there you have it. Tannen's Ico impression. Last Guardian. Are we in an alternate universe? Streets of Rage movies and The Last Guardian was released. What the fuck? On the same format in the same week. I don't know, man.
Stuff's getting crazy. I'm running out of time for everything. You know what I mean? It's stacking up. I already have a back catalog of games I haven't even touched. They're just, still just sitting there. Like I try to put them in and at least play them for 10 minutes when I get them.
Can you get to a point where you're just like, I have too many games, you stop collecting, or is it also because I kind of have the itch to just keep collecting no matter what?
Yeah. And I'm not a reseller either. Like I get I keep what I get. And I'm also kind of a bastard when it comes to lending stuff out. Like it usually has to be with a trade, which I still have your Mortal Kombat trilogy. It's sitting there. It's waiting for you, buddy.
For PS2?
Yeah, you brought over that box set that one day.
Yeah, I said you could have that because I don't even have a PS2 anymore.
No, cool.
Yeah. So,
well,
way to air our dirty personal laundry, Tannen. I appreciate it on air.
Well, hey, man, I'm the one that borrowed it. And you kind of just brought it to me. It was like, play this.
Yeah.
And
way to take a gift, a sentiment of my friendship, and just air it out for the world to hear. No, that's totally, you can totally have it.
Wow.
That's totally yours.
Once
I got Mortal Kombat X, finally, I don't know if I could go back to those because X is just so good. Yeah, I love that game. But those games are still good. It's just, man, I don't know. I don't even have PS2 anymore. So, irrelevancy. I don't know, man. Speaking of the Mortal Kombat games, what would you say was your least favorite on the 16-bit, like 1, 2, or 3? Which one was your least favorite?
Probably 3.
Really?
Yeah. One was an introduction. I mean, that just blew everybody away. I mean, that was an experience to be had. I had the Super Nintendo version, which was lame. There was no blood. Thanks, Nintendo. Like this, that's part of why my mom got it for me finally, because there was so many bad things about it. And then, there's no blood. I'll get it for you. Like it's just great, yeah, because I have a Super Nintendo.
I had that version too, so I feel your pain. I hated that version.
My neighbor had Sega, and it was just like so much cooler to go over there and play that. But then, when 2 came out, and I got that one. I remember I would sit back and play that. I had a Nintendo Power issue that had every move, and I would memorize every move that I could, every fatality. Try my damnedest to get to Smoke and all those guys. I put a lot of hours in the second one. The second one's probably my favorite. The third one, I don't think it was my least favorite because it was bad. It just I think Mortal Kombat started to kind of lose its appeal with me. Like, I remember I got it for Easter, and I was really excited about it, but then I ended up just going back and playing 2 again.
Right.
So, and maybe that was because I was just so familiar with 2 and had invested so much time into it that I was like, I'd rather play this.
A lot of people that might be not like a little younger, but not much, that didn't grow up when Mortal Kombat 2 dropped and you had an SNES and you'd waited for something, and finally it was almost arcade perfect. I was obsessed with Mortal Kombat 2. I would cut out pictures from Game Pros and stuff and put them on like poster boards and make Mortal Kombat posters when I was like fucking 9 or 10. It was also great. I don't know about you, but when the internet first came out, like 95, 96, one of the first things I ever printed off the internet was like a Mortal Kombat 2 fatality list. And I was like, I was just fucking blown away. I had like a little mini Bible of Mortal Kombat moves in my hands. Never had that before because I never, you know what I mean? So that was awesome. But definitely 2 was my favorite. 1 was actually my least favorite. But there you have it. Digging a little deep for that segment.
Yeah. Oh, well, my one cousin, he actually put the first Mortal Kombat on my PC for me when I was a kid, and I had a controller that worked really well with the PC at the time. So I did end up playing 1 more through that than my Super Nintendo version, strictly because there was blood and
I don't
all
blame
that
you.
stuff.
If the Commodore 64 version was released and it had blood, I would rather play that than the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat. So, could you imagine Mortal Kombat on Commodore 64? Jesus.
I mean, there was definitely its versions that were terrible. I mean, the Game Boy version was a force to be reckoned with.
If it was on Commodore 64, guys, don't read me out in the comments below. Hey, who the fuck would know that? That's not.
I'm pretty sure it was actually. It was on one of those. It was ported to one of those, and it was terrible.
I know Street Fighter was. Pretty sure Street Fighter 2 was.
I'm pretty sure AVGN actually covered one of the crappier Mortal Kombats that was like Commodore 64 or something along those lines.
Who knows? I think we're about ready for a little break.
Yeah, me too. Let's go ahead. Let's do a break.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We got Game of the Week coming back, Tannen, and a new Game of the Week from you guys. So thank you guys for Game of the Week, even though it's shitty. Thanks, Scott. But we'll be right back. Yeah. Let's hit the reset button.
And what we played this week. So.
Yeah.
We got that. So reset button.
We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Mike here from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you, as always, check us out on Twitter, @Slam Pigs Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, The Slam Pigs Podcast. Or, as always, check us out on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Hibiki TMD is where it's at. Until we meet again, oink oink.
And we're back. The Reset Button, Tannen, Episode 2. It's Game of the Week time.
Yeah,
I believe. I believe it is. If I'm mistaken, let me know.
No. It's definitely Game of the Week. Before we go over, I guess, the Game of the Week that we talked about, let's talk about some of the games that you and I have played this week. Travis, what did you play over the last 7 days?
Picked up Skyrim Remastered, early Christmas present for my significant other. Shout out to significant other. It was great. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's Skyrim. What can you say that hasn't already been said about Skyrim? If you don't like Skyrim, you're just kind of snobby. Let's be honest. There's nothing to not like about Skyrim, in my opinion. I don't know about you, Tannen.
No, it's a fun game. I'm down with it.
I also played the free PSN game of the month. One of them is called Invisible Ink. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a strategy type game, but it's like spy espionage, kind of like Fire Emblem mixed with like Killer 7 type thing in a way, like as far as character design. Very cool. Definitely worth free. What can you say? Retro odds and ends here and there. Definitely our game of the week this week, but that's a given. Yeah, that's about it. A lot of Skyrim. Tannen.
No, I got a pretty long list.
All right.
Hope you're ready. Well, first off, finally got into Battlefield 1's multiplayer and absolutely love it.
Nice.
But the only thing about it is, it takes. I can sit here and play it and feel like I've only played for 15 minutes. It'll be, that last round was 45 minutes. It's like, what the shit? Like I was trying to like do laundry and stuff on Tuesday. I had off. Was trying to just do some odds and ends around the house, and in between loads of laundry, I was like, I'm going to sit down and play this, and then I'll get up, and and clean the kitchen. 45 minutes, one of the deathmatch rounds.
Dude, it's Battlefield. What did you expect?
Yeah.
That's how they are.
Yeah. I just, for some odd reason with the other Battlefields, I didn't get into it as much.
Right.
I think it's the lack of modern day combat. So I'm not going to call a journey. Instead you're on a World War I battlefield, and it's like getting back to the roots of just earlier combat. And that's what I love about it. It's more brutal. It's kind of more in your face. I really love rushing down a hallway and stabbing people with my bayonet. I enjoy that, I think, the most.
Nice.
I love doing melee kills. That's just, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I thought I would like the flying more, and I do enjoy flying in that game. I think they did it really well. So fuck all the. I ride in on a horse, and I had like a 5-kill streak, like just from being on a horseback shooting people, and it was like a 5 streak too with headshots. It was awesome. Totally enjoyed doing that. It was very satisfying.
That sounds very satisfying.
Being on a horseback and all these people just frantically trying to shoot me, but I'm also running while I'm doing it, and it's like, you can hit me. And they were all trying to camp out too. That's why I just went ahead and rolled up on them on a horse. I was just like, fuck you guys.
I will agree with you though. It is inconvenient. The Battlefield war type, even Battlefront suffers from it. The long battles, it can be inconvenient. But I think I've never played this multiplayer. I don't know how many modes it has, but if it has different modes, they're probably a lot quicker, depending on
It's got a lot of modes. I tried to get into the 64-person battle though, and it took so long to load that I backed out of it and just started doing smaller ones. I don't know what the holdup was, or if the server was just busy. So I haven't gotten into the totally large scale battles yet, but I was playing like.
It might have been you, Tannen. It might just be you. Just own up to it.
It might just be me, but yeah, I was doing like the 24-person, and I had plenty of fun with that.
That's plenty.
But yeah, moving on though. So yeah, as I'm like, holy crap, I am really losing track of time with this game. Having way too much fun, I decided to slow things down. And another game that I picked up this week was, and it was a game that you hated, but it was last month's free PSN game. I started playing Everybody's Gone to Rapture, and that's definitely a change of pace from Battlefield 1.
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
I mean, it's just walking, but at the same time, it's not really a game at all. It is seriously just an experience.
It's not a game.
Yeah, not a game, but I really did like the storyline to that. I have not finished it. Something glitched out with mine. I got online and read about it, and they said that there was a glitch that causes this, and unfortunately you got to go back, and it's like glitch, so I got to start a new game, and I'm like, I don't know about all that. But from what I did play, I got really far into it, so I'm not that far from the end. Seriously, about 20 minutes from the end, and that happened, and it was after I invested probably about 2 hours in it. But I just don't know.
So does that game.
Huh?
So does that game, for what it's worth.
I see. You're gonna say that, but
I put myself on blast.
See, I walked in knowing what I was getting into, and it wasn't a game. It was just a complete change of pace. And I would take a break from that, go back to Battlefield, and then we go back to that game, and it was great.
You talk about unwinding in game day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was having a game day.
Nice.
Another one that I played this week a little bit more was No Man's Sky.
Big. Also, we forgot to mention the news on that, the patch update, Tannen.
Yeah, the patch. Well, that's what I was going to say. I have never played it without the patch update. When I got it, the patch update was out.
Oh, and you talk about me with The Last of Us. Look at you.
Right.
Look at you. How juicy of you.
Picked it up for $15, and now I'm going to, play the full real game that they, decided to make that was better. I really like it. It's just a space exploration game. That's another game though I'd say that unwinds from Battlefield. There's crafting. There is things that can kill. Like I went ahead. I tried to do the challenging mode where you got to watch your temperature and your oxygen level and all that. And I was like, nah, screw this. This isn't that much fun. I'd rather go into the other mode where I don't die as easily, and I just want to explore a universe.
There's no easy way out.
Yeah.
You know the words.
What?
To the Rocky song.
Oh.
Anyway.
Hey.
So we missed the boat on that joke.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
No, I said we both just fucked it all up. So.
Yep, here we are on the docks.
Pulled the curtain back a little bit. But yeah, anyway. No Man's Sky, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, honestly.
I'd recommend it. It's cheap now. I mean, you might as well do it while it's cheap. And just, who knows, though? That could end up being a free PSN game easily.
Yeah,
at some point.
I can definitely see that. I'm really crossing my fingers that Rocket League someday is free again, because I missed the boat the first time it was free.
Ooh, you missed a major fucking boat on that one.
Yeah, I did. But
a big ass sailboat, major boat, and you just oh man. I mean, that is like a cruise party ship way out in the ocean.
Did you pick up Rocket League when it was free on that?
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Oh, right on. I didn't know if you did or not. Way to rub it in.
Sorry, yeah, it is one. I don't mind rubbing salt on that wound. I'm really sorry. It's really cruel. Like, haha.
Cool, Bob.
But hey, I as far as Injustice, I had to buy that because I missed the boat on that one, on the Ultimate one. So
I've never played Injustice, actually.
What?
I've never played it.
Dude, it's like $5.
I played DC versus Mortal Kombat Universe.
That was okay. But
I know it's going to be subpar for me.
No, it's not. It's a really good game. And also, I do have a couple of the comics. The comics are excellent. If you ever want to come over.
Would that be my personal game of the week this week?
Yeah. You have to play. You have to play Injustice. Just go to the store and get it. I think it's only like $5 to $10.
The Tannen Challenge has been
for the big one. And that's another one. I'll get online and play with you. I will play with that online with you.
I can swing that, I suppose.
For my final games that I played this week, for the first time ever, because I have that PS Now subscription that I got while I was intoxicated. I played Sonic CD for the first time ever.
Nice, love that.
Dude, that is a really good Sonic game. The beginning FMV movie of him just aimlessly running around was definitely one of those. It's the '90s. The game's on a CD. Look at how awesome it is because it's a cartoon. Ha! Like that was a little lame to sit there. I'm hitting every button to try to skip it, and I can't. I actually had to sit there, and I was like, maybe they made it originally for loading time. But it doesn't matter on the PS4. Like, let me skip this movie. This is dumb.
I've got a lot to say about Sonic CD. I had it. I'm actually going to hold off on delving in too much because I'm,
Did you have it originally?
I did not, but my grandmother's stepson did. So that's something. And I did play it as a kid. I did play Sonic CD as a kid, and it was mind blowing. Especially that first, and the only time there's a 3D ring, by the way. That's the only time in the game that shit happens, if I'm not mistaken, on the first stage. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
Yeah, that's the only time that happens. But other than that...
Oh, really? Because, I didn't beat it. I thought that was the thing that was going to pop back up again.
No, that's it. That's all you get. But it gets hard as shit. I still, even as a kid, to this day, I can't get past Metal Sonic. He always catches me. It's just a chase. But it's definitely, by many, considered to be the best early Sonic game out of all, up till, Adventure came out, I think. You would say that it started going off in other directions. But I have a lot to say about it because I'm planning on reviewing it soon. So look out for that on the channel, guys. I do love that game. But I don't want to give away too much.
I'm looking forward to that review. But yeah, anyway, my opinion was it was a very enjoyable Sonic game. I want to go back and play more of it.
Now I only played a remake on the Xbox Live Arcade. It didn't have the original soundtrack on this. Does your version have the original soundtrack?
I wouldn't know.
If you get a chance, this is my homework to you. Go on YouTube and listen to the original soundtrack and see if it is. If not, wow, this was so 90s. Speaking of 90s, this shit was amped up with Steve Urkel 90s, fucking.
Oh yeah.
It was.
I was expecting Sonic to talk in the beginning movie, as he's running around, okay, is Steve Urkel gonna get into this now?
Yeah.
I'm playing the Saturday morning cartoon according to this, But
shout out to the VHS tapes I still have of Sonic the cartoon. So I can sing the theme song right now if you'd like, but I won't because I don't want to lose all the listeners. So speaking of game of the week, Tannen, what was our game of the week this week?
What was that?
What was our game of the week this week? Speaking of,
That would be North and South, a game not based on the 1980s Civil War drama that my grandmother religiously watched,
yeah, it
but
was that.
still based on the Civil War.
It was, and the character design in the game was based off of a French comic, believe it or not, a French or a Bulgarian comic. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was French. The artist was French, and it was a comic strip there. So that's weird that an American Civil War was a comic strip in France. But yeah, Tana, you've never played this game. If I'm pretty accurate, what did you take away initially when you first turned it on, and looked at it? Were you expecting what you got?
Yeah, well, I kind of figured this is going to be some kind of real-time strategy game, and I love those games. Absolutely love those games. And this definitely felt like a good original. It kind of reminded me of Ancient Art of War in a way. I don't know if you ever played that for the PC.
No,
That was
I have
a
not.
DOS-based game. Really awesome game. Really reminded me of that in a way. But I did like it. You got your freedom to move your troops around. And I love how it started out. The music was really awesome. It started out with a national freaking anthem too.
Yeah, it also had like Yankee Doodle Dixie in it, I believe.
Yeah, there's all kinds of really good 8-bit renditions of American, classic American songs.
This game is so American.
Oh, dude, it is America as fuck. Like, I kind of wish we would have played it more around 4th of July, even though 4th of July has nothing to do with the Civil War. But at the same time, it just felt like I should be playing it more around then to be celebrating it.
They should remaster this game with Toby Keith narrating it. It's that American.
Oh wow, yeah, that's. I don't know.
But
it's too American.
The thing about, I think, why this stood out for me and why I even asked you to play as game of the week, because I'm pretty sure you didn't. It's not just a strategy game, is it? There's like side-scrolling elements, and it's like a survival race against time type thing, and it's incorporated very well, and the gameplay is balanced. We usually say Gary sucks, but Gary's one of the few people I knew that played this game a lot. And he loves this game. So Gary doesn't suck on this one, because this game, if you haven't played it, it's definitely a hidden gem on the NES. It's worth checking out. It's a lot of fun if you're into the strategy. A lot of the Western NES releases didn't have a lot. There weren't a lot of strategy titles we got. Japan got Fire Emblem games and stuff like that, but we didn't. Not until Super Nintendo. We got a plethora, all kinds of strategy games. But
Ogre and all that.
This was more in depth too. It's very deceiving. You didn't think it would be as you can choose what year initially at the beginning of the game you want to battle in, like 1863. There's different scenarios. There on the battlefield you can blow up bridges, you can sabotage the guys. For an 8-bit game, this game does a lot, and I think
it was
overlooked.
extremely in depth.
Yeah.
For what it was.
I think it's insanely overlooked, and I think the America stink on it, so it's so American, may stray some people away in a way, like especially like our UK listeners, people like that. But just pretend it's about something else. Pretend it's Star Wars.
Oh no! Just accept that it's about the Civil War. I mean, screw it.
Yeah, screw it.
But yeah. I mean, shit. I'll play games based off the French Revolution. But
there you have it.
But. Still though, yeah, exactly. That's the whole European front there. But as far as that game goes, though, it was definitely for its time, it did blow me away. I'm wondering about its PC version.
Yeah, it did. It have a PC release on DOS. It does. It's on par. It's really good. The only thing about that version I haven't liked, because I play on DOSBox, the sound is way more annoying. It's, oh my god, it's one of the most repetitive PC games I've ever played. Other than that, it's pretty good. I'd recommend that too. I would go with the NES though. That's my heart. So it's just me. There you have it, game of the week, Tan, and I'm glad we got a good one in for once. You know what? It's because we requested it, and we have one this week. It's not very fucking good. I know that.
I'm only doing this because of your request. Then next week I'm picking the game.
All right, so there you go. RSVP has already been called by Tandem for next week's game of the week. This week's game of the week, I've never played it. I barely have heard about it. What I've heard about it, it's shit. Tandem, I don't know if you've heard about it. It's Dino, The Adventures of Dino Riki, or Ricky. It's Riki. So,
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I'm already going to go ahead and shit on it. Sounds like it's going to be a Bonk's Adventure type deal. But who knows? Who knows, though? We at least have a listener that dedicated it to us. Listener.
I was gonna say shout out to you, Scott. Thank you. This is from Scott Tannen, friend on Facebook in the Facebook group. So.
But Scott, I'm wondering if it's a game that you actually like, or if if you just want to torture us this week. That's what I'm wondering.
The reason I knew this game sucked is because Scott told me it sucked after he requested it. So there you have
thanks.
It.
Well, then thank you, Scott.
I know he hates it for a fact. So, but hey, it's feedback.
Yeah, no. We'll do it.
We'll do it. We're crazy like that. We're juicy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a juicy episode next week.
Next week's our Christmas extravaganza, Tannen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to do a Let's Play on the channel of Elf for the Game Boy Advance. I'm doing that for Christmas, guys. So bad or good, I'm still going to beat the fucker for the channel. And,
based off the Will Ferrell movie?
Yes. Yeah. I have it.
Oh my God, that got a Game Boy Advance game?
It did. It's a side scroller, and you throw like snowballs, and your sprite is Will Ferrell. So, holla.
Wow. I mean, I thought it was amazing that I had a PSP game and a DS game of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I never played those, but I've heard and seen things about this.
It's pretty bad, but at the same time good. Like, you know what you're getting into. It's just these fun mini games. If you like the movie, you'll enjoy the game and just its references. But as far as I had no idea there was an Elf game.
Yes.
Yeah. So wait. So that's your Christmas special. I guess I'll bring one.
It's just a Let's Play. It's not
okay.
It's nothing fancy.
I just didn't know if you want to talk about them on the show or little Christmas specials. You take Elf, and I will do. Oh my God,
if you still want to throw something at me, I'm all about it. Give me another game, not just Elf.
No, you.
I'll probably be burnt out on Elf by the time I do a Let's Play series on it next week. So.
You play Elf, and I am going to do Home Alone on the Game Boy.
Oh my God, do you hate yourself that much?
Yes.
Oh.
And here's the thing. I have not really tried to play that one because I hated the Super Nintendo version so much. But I have it, and I have a Super Game Boy. So screw it. I am going to make myself really upset and probably extremely angry.
You got to throw pictures up in the shout out to the Facebook group, Hibiki TMD, when you pop it in. Put that
oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about it on the show. It's not like I'm gonna. I don't make videos like you. I'm not that professional.
I'm asking for a picture, man. A picture.
A picture.
A picture.
Oh, of the game itself, like the cartridge, or
yeah, just your cartridge. Just throw it up there. Be like, hey, it's Home Alone on Game Boy for the Facebook.
Okay. Sounds good to me. It's in one of my cigar box collections.
And if you don't start making movies soon, Tannen, I'm through with you. You better start making movies. I'm just kidding. They better be scantily clad movies.
Oh, like you want me to be sitting in my underwear, like Let's Play games in our underwear?
Yep. Talking about cheeseburgers. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's been episode 2, Tannen. Thank you, man, for joining me once again. Let's wrap this show up. Where can everyone follow you on Twitter once again, Tannen?
I'm at Tannen's Bum. Tannen's Bum.
You never get it right on the first try.
You
never ever get your fucking Twitter hit.
Tannen's Bum. Tannen's Bum. Tannen's Bum at Twitter.
Very fitting for this time of year. In June, it's going to seem silly. Just saying.
But you know what? I still might sing that song in June. Christmas in July, bitch.
Soundbited. In all seriousness, dude, thank you for joining me right here on the reset button. Until next week, guys. Hey, let's hit it.
Reset button.